So now that we've finished this area up here, it's time for us to tackle our next project. Like I said in the last episode, we needed a little bit of extra time to actually do something that's quite significant and not just looking absolutely poor, but something that really actually feels like it's worth putting into this area. But we have one giant issue. And that issue is that, well, I'm a dummy. We had ourselves plenty of dark oak saplings, but of course, as always, I make mistakes and I just ended up going from having a couple of dark oak trees to literally having 3 saplings left, which, well, you need 4 to even grow a tree, so that is quite the problem. Now what this means is that we will have to go out on a little journey that hopefully will not take that long. And we're just gonna grab ourselves a few more saplings. I can see right away as well that I need to really quick go up and trade with a villager to actually get some more food, because I don't really want to run out of food halfway through. So let's quickly just trade with this guy right here. 28 will hold for a little while. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are also my last emeralds, which is also kind of a big issue. Since I've gone this way over here a few times without really any success, I think I'm gonna go just this way down here, in hopes of seeing I can find some dark oak sapling. So I've emptied out my inventory as much as I possibly can. I think that we're just gonna make a run down there and hopefully we can get all that we need. Oh, wait a minute, man. Before I make any mistakes, which I've actually been pretty proud of myself as of yet, I need to grab myself a shield since I've actually not had a shield for a little while. Should probably also swap out my bad helmet for this helmet since it has no durability left. Let's make a journey this way that hopefully won't take too long, and please just give me some dark oak saplings so I can get going with building even more to this wonderful freaking area that we're building right here. I think everything around here looks so dope, man. Alright, let the hunt for a dark oak sapling commence. Let's definitely grab that beauty. Oh, it's just gonna be a 1. There's also a little geode just right in the ground right here. I'll just keep that in mind for the future. Yeah, this is not quite what I would like to see. Ooh, that is though. Wait, actually this might actually be what I like to see. Look what we have right here. We have this area that probably in theory leads into so much iron around here. We can probably get an outrageous amount of iron by just mining a little bit right here. Oh my god, bro, but I gotta be careful, man. Gotta be really careful around these parts. A lot of creepers, it seems. But if we just have like iron like this all over in the ground like we had way back at the start. Yeah, exactly. Literally this right here. There's just iron everywhere here. Oh, this is phenomenal. Look at this. Oh my god, there's even diamonds. Let's freaking go. Alright, so apparently I ended up spawning a warden. I literally just pressed the recording off, and the second I did, an actual warden spawned. I don't know exactly where he is, but we are not gonna actually... So we're just gonna get away from here now. We are not at all even remotely prepared for anything like that. So I did end up getting a lot of iron. Look at that. There's even more here. I think I'm actually going to be safe in a place like this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be happy with these 3 stacks of iron that I've gotten. And I can always, now I know this is here and it's actually really close by my base, so I can always just come back. Oh, there's so many diamonds around here though. Look at that. Look at that. Dark oak trees right there. And it's a lost biome right here. Perfect. So this might actually be a 2-in-1, because if I can grab myself some clay around here, I can then also garner a bunch of emerald, and there's clay as well. Grab these trees right here so we can get some saplings, and then we're also going to grab as much clay as we can. And then we're going to get home, because we don't have time to waste, man. We're trying to do as much as we can in as little time as possible, so we don't have any time to waste. 5 saplings mean we can grow 2 trees, because we already got 3 at home, so that's perfect. Now I'm just going to grab a bunch of clay. And then of course we can't leave behind these beauties. That gives me a pretty solid full inventory with a whole bunch of diamonds, which is quite nice. And I know I could just stack all of these clay balls and then just do this, turn them into clay, and then when I go back I could put them all down and then do it again, but I can't be bothered to do that. So let's just get back home and let's start working on this. Back home, so we can start off by doing a bunch of trade with our villages for the clay. Alright, that gives me at least a little bit of emerald once again. All of this clay inside here so we know where it is, and we can always come back and do a bunch of trading. Then now, we can tackle this area. So let's start off by making ourselves a shear and take all of these down so we can remove this entire wall. And then what I think I'll do is I'll build some sort of house right here, where inside the house, that's where I have my vine farms. Because I'm actually quite liking using these vines down here. I think it looks so good when you build these walls. Let's try and fit a house into the side of this little hill right here. We haven't done any sort of building yet with granite, so I want to grab some granite and actually utilize that in this build. Now, I won't claim to be the smartest guy in the room, but I feel like I have a problem right here. I feel like something right here didn't quite go as I planned. I think I need to redo that real quick. I swear to you, I did not do this on purpose. I swear on my life, I did not do that on purpose. Alright, that will be take number 3. Let's try it once again. Now it should be correct. Alright, there we are. Finally, I actually did it correctly. So then now what we gotta do is we gotta get onto the sides right here and start working in there. So for the actual house itself, it's just gonna go in to the actual mountain. So I'm just gonna have to throw in basically just a few walls like this right here, so you aren't actually able to notice the side itself when you walk through around here. If you just build this up very simply actually, and just throw a couple blocks in like this right here, so that it just motions into the actual mountain itself. Then on the inside, I will actually end up changing all of this out, but just not on the outside. Like everything behind these blocks will be changed because I'm obviously going to go inside the actual house and fill it in. But just for the outside right here, this is actually all you're going to be able to see. I want to extend it from the top into the actual back of this mountain. And that's probably going to be the length of the build, is just from here into there. So what I can do is I can just take these last few blocks and build up to this height and then just fill it in going all the way through. And I'll just throw this in right here so we have a bit of lighting. But then all I need to do is just take this right here and go all the way over to the actual end of the mountain. That'll just be here. Here is where the actual build itself ends. And then we can have this go all the way down when we get inside. Just adding a few blocks in like this right here makes it look a bit more natural. But then what we have is we just have this extending all the way over, which we can actually remove all of these because these are the ones that we'll need to do at some point either way. So we just do that, fill this all the way through, and then just do a line all the way in with all of this granite to fill it out. And then I'll probably end up needing, either I do glass on the side right here or I do these fences. I'm kind of almost leaning more towards glasses than fences now that I think about it. I don't exactly know why, but I just kind of feel like glass would look a little bit better than these will. I think for the front, these look nice, but for the side itself, I just kind of feel like glass might look better. But then over on this side, you will actually run into the issue of having the whole mount, because if I just quickly trim all of this out, and then we can just really quickly remove all of this so it gives us the perfect open space. If we just chop all of these blocks down, we know exactly how big of an area we have to work with. You know what? I will do the glass either way. I definitely want to do the glass. I think it will look much better. Then we can just take all of our dark oak logs and make them go from side to side, just like this all the way around. And then we can just nice and easily add all the blocks in through here. The whole back wall will just be completely filled in with this granite since we can't really see anything out of this one. And then the other side, we just do exactly what we did on the other side, just add in a few granite blocks going all the way through. And then now I just gotta go over and buy a little bit of glass unless I have something lying down there. Oh, I do have plenty of glass, that's right. Bought a bunch earlier. So let's just throw all of this glass inside right here. I think this is actually gonna end up looking quite nice. Yeah, I like that because then I can like kind of look out and actually see this over here. And then the same over here, which we definitely still gotta do something to this area. Then before I can transform the rest of the inside, what I need to do is find the way down so I can actually get out without destroying too much of this area. So then last but not least, we need to add in a roof, which doesn't actually require too much because we have basically the actual roof up here. So what I can do is I just have to add in a few blocks, which should actually be really simple. basically we just have the actual stairs going into the roof. I'm going to remove a couple of these blocks right here so it looks a bit better. That finishes the roof on both sides. So now I added in a few lanterns as well, because obviously we gotta have lanterns. But everything now in terms of the roofing is absolutely complete. But the inside, well, the inside needs quite a lot of work. It needs a whole bunch of work. And then I can see that I also need to finish up the roof inside. The roof inside right here should actually be a really quick and easy fix. I can just add slabs to the roof all the way through. Alright, perfect. That gives me a roof through the entirety of the house. And we gotta remove this and add in the last few walls. Alright, two things. I planted down the new saplings that I got so I could get more wood. Chopped them down, but got to grab the saplings. Which means I am back to having literally only 3 saplings again. I am the biggest dummy in the entire world. On top of that, number 2. I do not have enough granite to finish this off, so we gotta quickly grab some more of that. That's not a real issue though, we just gotta quickly grab a little bit more granite, probably like about 2 stacks, and we should be good. And then obviously I gotta make another trip back over there to grab some more saplings, because this is my preferred wood, and probably the wood that I'll be using the absolute most. If we walk inside now, the house is basically done. I just have let the vines grow like down the walls all the way around, just added in a few lanterns just so we actually have some lighting in here. But this is basically all that's really gonna happen in here. I wanted to just grab the last few pieces just to add them right here, so we really have like everywhere growing vines in here, just so we get as much as possible for when we actually need it. But yeah, this house is pretty simple. It's not anything too crazy or anything like that. I don't want to have them grow over the windows. I think I might actually end up doing that if I come to a point where I start like using these quite a lot, but for now I think this is gonna plenty do it. We aren't quite done yet. We still need to do something about this outside right here. What I am thinking is that on the side I want to add a little staircase just going up the mountain, and then we have just a little area up here. Maybe it could be like an outside area where there grows vines, or maybe we just like throw down a tree or something. But I definitely for sure want to have some stairs going up. I should probably just really quick make the trip back for the dark oak saplings, because well, we're gonna need them. I don't know why I'm being such a dummy and forgetting about it, but you know what, man? That's just the consequences of being a dummy. Let me just really quick go back and get them. Gotta do this before. Come on now. I finally hit level 30 again. Please let this be good. Unbreaking Protection 3. It's alright, but it's not enough. It'll do for now. And with those last few things added in, I think that's where we call it quits for this little project right here. So we added ourselves the little area over here to the side just to kind of do something to the mountain to not make it look too boring. And then I just added the giant wheat field because this world is just going to be filled up with fields everywhere. So I think it's just going to be like a little thing that's not too crazy, but it just makes the area actually look a little bit more alive. And I don't know, I just kind of really like it, man. Just have like this giant lake going around and everything like that. But this was just a little project that turned into quite a bigger project than expected, but I do truly think that this was way more than worth it, man. It looks really good. I'm actually very happy with the looks of it, man. That's just for places like this right here. I do think some areas should probably just stay a little open so it's not too much, but we could always just end up adding something in there at some point if we feel like it. But for now, I think this right here is this project completed. So then, since I just planted these trees down here now because I didn't really know where else to plant them, I thought that that would maybe be what the next project could be. The actual place for a tree farm. And where could that be? Well, it could literally just be right here to the side. So all that would really require for me to do would be to just extend this thing going like down here, and then it could just end off over there. And then throughout this area, we could have like a bunch of farms to the side that grows trees. I don't exactly know 100% where I'm going with it, but what I do know is that to start off with, I literally just want to take this thing and just extend it all the way down. And then when we've done that, we can figure out exactly how we want to go about it. Alright, this is a decent start. I might probably end up removing a couple of these lanterns. I just wanted to really make sure this area was lit up, because if you didn't notice, I was getting attacked by zombies literally all the time while doing this. So let's start off by doing a couple of things that's not really too much to do with the area, but for the whole feel of everything, it's going to be quite important. So if we just do a little pathway down here that connects this area here all the way over to this one there. Alright, nothing too crazy, just a simple little start. And we can just add in a little bit of lighting around just to spice up the area just a little bit. And then we come out to here. I think I want to try and do a little bit of something to this side right here of the actual mountain just to kind of make everything fit in a little better. On top of that, I think maybe building a bridge around and about here, extending over to the other side. Something very quick and simple should look pretty nice. On top of that, I gotta start by removing all of these trees right here so we actually have the proper space to figure out exactly how we... And I'm actually gonna use a bunch of birch wood, so this is perfect. Really don't know what these two Endermen are doing there, but they've been here for a while. They must be enjoying themselves. So I'm probably gonna take this entire area over here, make sure the dirt level is the exact same level as this over here, and then in the back, just from the side, probably right here, extending over to the other side, I'm just gonna put in a wall. Just a simple cobblestone wall like we've done over at the other places, just to kind of end off the area so that no mobs can really run in here, and it will just kind of ease out the area. I've already made sure I've grabbed a bunch of vines from my little new vine farm, but bro, this vine farm is gonna come in so unbelievably handy. I think I'm gonna use that thing like a crazy amount. But since I feel like I've shown probably a little too many time lapse already, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly fill in this area, add the wall in the back, and then we can get to it. And just like that, the area looks 20 times better. There's just a simple little detail like just adding this. It's crazy, man. I really can't believe sometimes how much this small thing does. So obviously I want to turn this entire area into a giant tree farm. I was looking around in this area right here and I was just noticing this little area up here. And you know what? Why not just build something cool up there? So what I'm thinking is that I have some sort of stairway going up, and then we have a front way leading in, so it's almost gonna be like a elevated hobbit hole in a sense. Not really, but it's like kind of just going into something. I don't really know why I call it a hobbit hole actually, but we'll just kind of see where we can take it. I do think I could build something cool. It won't have any purpose whatsoever, but just the facade going out I feel like would look cool. So I guess I just talked about giving you too many time lapses, but well, I feel like this requires a time lapse. So let's do that. Fun little mini house complete. I think it's gonna look a little better when the grass is grown all the way up. If not, I'm just gonna add something into it. But I kind of think I want to just stick with the grass. If not, we can just, maybe we throw in some flowers or some wheat or carrots, something like that. But for now, I think I'm just gonna stay with this. Then we got ourselves a little bridge right here. So over here is where we want to start planting down all these trees. We have 15 oak saplings right now, so we can grow a couple of trees. But I want to do some sort of pattern that kind of makes sense. So let me think. Maybe we want to have, I want to almost make like pathways going in. So if we were to say that tree number 1 would just be placed right there, and then we have just a like 3 blocks in between, and that then is the next one, and then a 1, 2, 3. The last one will then be here. I think in terms of space, it should be okay, at least for this kind of front row. Then we do maybe like a 1, 2, 3, and then we have the next tree grown placed right here. And then probably keeping it simple, just doing this would make the most sense. I could add in tree around here, but I feel like this right here might make more sense. Maybe even we could do something that looks a little better actually. If I go into my chest right here and I just grab the tough blocks. I really like putting tough blocks in the ground. They just look really nice. So if I just make the pathway in the middle with this, and then the tough blocks on the outside. Now that I think about it, actually kind of exactly like we did over here earlier. But I guess since it keeps on coming to my mind to do it this way, it must be because it's a good thing to do, because I really like it. I do like it. I think it looks really good. Do that on side, and then the other side, we just replicate that. extend the road going all the way down to the end. Yeah, I like this. I actually really like this. If we just grab ourselves these fences right here and the lanterns, maybe right here we add a lantern on each side, probably like around in the middle right here we can add another, and then in the middle again. And I should probably also have some in the back right here, so we make sure that the actual back area right here is also lit up perfectly. So it gives us something like this going all the way through, and then we can replicate this all the way around here. Something that is going to be pretty simple, but I feel like it's going to look quite decent. Let's just put in the roads first. Few more details added into this area, which is really coming together quite nicely. I am liking how this farm is going. Slowly over time, I will just fill in all of these saplings going around here. I've gathered a bunch of saplings at this point right now, but they take, you know, you don't get as many saplings from these trees as you would from a lot of other trees, or it's maybe just because you need 4, so it's like a little bit more, you know, something, words. You know exactly what it is I'm talking about. Got more than enough dark oak wood for a long time now, so we actually don't even have to worry about this, which is quite perfect, man. Then we can just come up here every now and then, do a little bit of work extending the farm and filling it out, and we'll just have ourselves a massive farm up here. Now we still got this whole area right here, which I definitely want to do something about. Since the next giant project that we're going to be working on is going to be down here in this valley, what I am thinking just for now is, if I go over here and just place these 3 blocks, I know that this right here is where I want to build some sort of ramp down. But then what I'm thinking is, I want to add some sort of outline all the way out here, just kind of blocking off this area. So I might just go very simple and just take these tough blocks, because I am it's like I fall in love with a few things and I just really stick by them. You know, I'm pretty loyal to the things that I enjoy, it seems. It seems like I'm just getting extremely loyal to all this stuff. So my plan is, I think what I want to do is I just want to take all of these tough blocks, extending all the way from like around and about here, and then all the way over to the wall. Basically, it just kind of ramps off this area into its own little thing. Because like I said, this next project is going to be outrageous down here. It's going to be massive. But if I just throw in a couple of these blocks going all the way through, we should finish this off pretty quickly. And then all I gotta do is just take a bunch of these birds fences, which we've actually ran out of. But I just want to take them and fill it in all the way over. But that requires me to get a few more. Alright, let's see if this is gonna cut it. Alright, perfect. Then I can just grab a few lanterns and just spice in. Alright, and then we just have this fence going all the way around that it just blocks in this area. Just makes it feel very much so like its own. And I can just take these down now, because then we know still exactly where to go down. Then what I could probably do is just quickly make myself a few stairs to kind of start this thing off. But basically it just goes down like this right here, and then it's going to extend all the way down. I then probably just want to do this to the ground going all the way through here. And that gives us something like this. I'm truly impressed by it. I'm yapping so much and talking about so many things of how good things look, but I just really love how just this simple little thing doing this makes this thing look like a million times better than what it did before. What I can probably do right here in this little area, since I'm probably also going to end up using a lot of birds going forward, since that's definitely something we use a lot for the fences. Probably just right here, I could plant down a few birch trees. Yeah, look at this, bro. This is awesome, man. Then I can just come over here and I can get like at least like a couple of stacks probably if everything grows up. But if I just throw down a couple of birch saplings right here, we'll have a little bit of an area like that, and then maybe I can throw down a couple of oak trees just around here, maybe a little bit over in the back here as well. And then that's probably for the most part all the woods that I'll need. Maybe I'll start using like jungle wood and stuff in the future, but I'm not really the biggest jungle wood fan. It's just not really a great wood. I like this building in the back as well, and with the grass growing up right now, it looks 20 times better. But if I can just add a little bit of that into this area right here, that should probably be everything that's needed. If I can just maybe remove like these more random blocks that's like right here, probably it's just gonna look a little better at least. Probably will need a little bit of lighting on this mountain right here just to make sure that it's as spawn proof as it can be. But all we gotta do is just throw in these last couple of saplings, and then that will basically finish off this area. what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this episode a little bit shorter than I usually would, because I know that for this next giant project right here, I am going to need so many days to finish this all, that having these extra 10 days in the next one will probably come in very handy. So what I'll do is, because I have to start removing all of these trees down here, from all those trees I will gather a bunch of saplings that I'll just throw in here throughout the next episode, because I just don't think that, no, like, it's going to be a little bit of a time waste going around grabbing all of that when I'll get it from that project down there. So I'm going to say for now this is probably quite perfect, and then it will just kind of extend more naturally when we actually do a few more projects going forward, especially this next one. This next project is going to be so massive. I truly cannot wait to get into this project. I also got to get some more axolotls. Like, they will slowly but surely make their way over here by themselves, we know that, but I would love to go over and grab some more axolotls as well to add into this area. I definitely also want to extend it as well with all these lily pads and everything like that. But for now, I'm going to see. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I want to get as much time as I possibly can for this next project down here. Hope you guys enjoyed. This next thing is gonna be awesome.